You know that feeling, right? You're stuck in traffic that just doesn't make any sense, or you're waiting forever for a bus that seems to be on a route designed in, I don't know, 1975. We have all been there. And you just have to wonder how, with all the tech we have today, can our city transportation still feel so completely broken? Well, the answer is way simpler and honestly a lot more shocking than you'd probably think. It all boils down to one huge flaw in how our cities actually see us, or more accurately, how they don't. And right here, this sentence, this is the smoking gun. For decades, this has been the foundation of how cities plan everything. Our roads, our bus routes, our subways, it's all been based on this ancient method. Just think about that for a second. It's slow, it's ridiculously expensive, and it misses almost everybody. Let that number really sink in, less than 3%. Cities are making these massive, multi-million-dollar decisions that impact your daily commute, my daily commute, based on data from a tiny, tiny fraction of the population. They're essentially trying to plan our future with one eye closed. So what this creates is a massive blind spot. It's the reason that brand new bus lane doesn't seem to speed anything up, or why your drive to work just keeps getting longer year after year. The old way of doing things just can't keep up with our real lives anymore. I mean, look at the mismatch here. On one side, you've got the old manual surveys, slow, super expensive, and giving you this tiny little snapshot in time. And on the other side, what our cities actually need. Something fast, affordable, that covers the entire city, not just a little piece of it. But what if you could finally get rid of that blind spot? This is where a real flash of insight comes into play, using the one piece of tech that pretty much all of us are carrying around in our pockets every single day. And here it is. It's called the Flash app. The idea behind it is just beautifully simple. It's an app that turns your smartphone into a super smart data collector for transportation. It just works away quietly in the background, helping to understand how people really move through the city. It creates the kind of rich, detailed data that city planners have, until now, only dreamed of. And the truly clever part is that it doesn't require any fancy new gadgets. It just uses the sensors that are already built into your phone, the GPS, the accelerometer, all that stuff. It's even designed to work great on budget-friendly smartphones, which is key. It means it's accessible to almost everyone, and it's built to collect data on a massive scale for a super low cost. Now, okay, I know what you're probably thinking. Anytime you hear about an app that tracks your movement, two really big questions immediately pop into your head. And the people who built this, they thought about those right from the very beginning. First up, the big one. We all know that horrible feeling of watching your phone's battery just plummet. So if an app is going to be tracking your trips all day long, it's got to be a battery killer, right? Well, actually, no. This was one of the core problems they had to solve. They developed these incredibly optimized background tracking algorithms, so they figured out how to get all the data they need with the absolute minimum impact on your battery. The goal is you shouldn't even notice it's running. Okay, so battery life is sorted. But what about the even more important question? What about my privacy? I mean, let's be real, location data is incredibly sensitive stuff. So who's looking at it and what are they doing with it? And this is crucial. The entire system was designed from the ground up to be privacy first. Nothing gets collected without you explicitly saying yes. And even when you do, all of that data is put through anonymization protocols. The system doesn't care about your specific trip to the grocery store. It cares about the collective pattern of 1,000 trips. It's about seeing the forest, not the individual trees. So we have an app that's smart, it's efficient, and it respects your privacy. But does it actually work? Let's get to the good part and look at the results, the real data-driven payoff. So these are the performance goals, and honestly, they're pretty incredible. The app can get over 90% accuracy in what's called mode detection. That's just a fancy way of saying it knows if you're walking, driving, or taking the bus. And it gets over 95% accuracy for valid OD pairs, which just means it correctly identifies where your trip started and where it ended. And that right there is the golden data. But it's that accuracy that leads to this number, which is just staggering. We're talking about a 90% reduction in the time it takes to collect the data compared to those old manual surveys. So it used to take months of work can now be done in just a few days. Planners get a near real-time picture of what's happening in their city. And this is what all that data builds. It's called an origin-destination matrix, or OD matrix. And for a city planner, this thing is the holy grail. It's basically a complete map that shows where people are starting their trips and where they're ending them. With this, you can finally see the true desire lines of a city, how people actually want to move around. And once you have that accuracy, it creates this amazing ripple effect. The automated data builds those super accurate OD maps we were just talking about. Then, those maps let planners make decisions based on hard evidence, not just guesswork. That leads directly to smarter routes, better infrastructure, and the final payoff? Less congestion and a much better city for every single one of us. This isn't just about fixing the problems we have today. This is really about building the foundation for the cities of tomorrow. It's about creating smarter cities, which in turn lead to smarter trips for everyone.
The vision here is just massive. We're talking about a system that can scale to millions of users, giving us a complete picture of mobility, not just for one city, but for an entire state. It empowers the people who plan our cities to make decisions based on reality and to finally build a transit system that actually serves the people who use it.
So I'll just leave you with this one question to think about. If we could finally close that huge data gap, if your city could see for the first time a clear, complete picture of how everyone actually moves, do you think it could finally build the efficient, intelligent, and responsive transit system that you and all of us really deserve?